Hey everyone, Udit this side. I'm the maker of Supervised AI, and now this is gonna be the only video that you will need to understand Supervised AI's LLM Studio and how you can build and deploy your very own language models using our platform. We will start by understanding how your business can adapt with the machine learning curve and integrate generative AI into your operations. Then we will move ahead and sign up on Supervised AI platform to get your testing keys, tune our dataset, and build and deploy our first language model. Furthermore, we will build a test chatbot and also use our supervised API keys to make an actual API call in the real world and get started with supervised APIs also. So I'm so excited to welcome you all to this new platform and this new family. Can't wait to get you started in the next section. See you. Now let's get started with supervised. I'm on the landing page and here I'll just click on get started for free. Here, this is the sign up page. It is easy. Just put in your name and an email ID and a password of your choice. Click on get started for free. Now, here we have attached our onboarding video that you can watch and clear out all your queries. If you want to schedule a call with us, you can just click over here and schedule a call. Just like this. You have to click on go to dashboard to continue. Now, some of you might be asking, you don't know how to integrate AI into your business. You have some idea that, okay, this is how AI can be integrated, but you don't exactly know how it will be done. Everyone who has this thing in their mind, we have built a small tool for them. Just click over here and you will be redirected to the AI enabler tool, which is free for all supervised users. This will give you a complete roadmap report of what exactly you need and how AI can be implemented into your business. I'll just give you a test of how this works. Let me write company's name and email ID. I'll select the domain of the business and describe the business in a few words. If you don't have any idea of how to implement AI into your business, you can just skip this and then hit submit. As you can see, a complete report has been generated on how exactly AI can be integrated into your business, what can be the objectives, the proposed solution, model development, fine-tuning, technology stack, optionalizing AI, and the roadmap. Also include recommendation in our report that can be used to further develop the roadmap of your AI integration. If you want to download it, you can just click Ctrl P or click on this button for instruction. If you are using a Mac, then CMD+P, or for Windows user, it is Ctrl+P. As you can see, the whole report can be saved in a PDF format and then further be used for reference. You can discuss it with your team members or just do the onboarding call with Supervised AI, where we can further discuss about this and make alterations. Once the report is saved, you can get back to the dashboard and start the model deployment. In the next section, we will see how the model is deployed, and further we will see how an API call is made and an AI application with no-code builder is built on Supervised AI. Now we are back on our dashboard. Let's deploy our first LLM. I click on this, and this is our deployment section. It is currently simple because most options are saved for later. I'll select a model. We'll use the most cost efficient one, the turbo one. Then I have to upload the dataset. If you don't know what is the right format to upload your dataset, then you can click over here. As you can see, it is a prompt versus completion. You can have the access of this training dataset whenever you want. Just it is available here. I'll put it in somewhere in description also. Let me just upload. Okay, the upload is complete. Now I will enable hyperparameters also, which is the number of epochs and batch size. This is important for our training dataset and for our LLM model to be trained. By default, it uses 3 and 2. You can change it also and learn more about them in an article, which is on our website. I will also add an additional context and now deploy my LLM. And this is the deployment section, like where I can now manage my model. As you can see, the status is currently under processing. This model first goes to a manual review process where our team reviews your dataset and the model details, and then the training begins. As the training starts, the status will obviously change, and it takes anywhere between 24 to 84 hours to train your model. To access the model, you need a model private key, which is this one. Be it the no-code builder or the API structure, the model private key is the most important element of it, because this is the missing puzzle of the API to call your model. As you can see, the number of epochs, batch size, additional context, etc. are already here. You can delete the model from here. Then you can enable monetization from this section. The third section opens the SDK. Then you can download the current dataset from here. If you have updated your dataset, you want your model to be on an updated dataset, you can just click over here and sync your data. And if you want to change the model visibility from private to public or from public to private, you can use this section. You can toggle between them anytime, and it is very easy. By default, all your models are private. So as you can see, no one else, even if they get the link of the model, they cannot access it. Now, once the model is processed, it is completed, you can list it on the marketplace or start building your application or use it on the API. In the next section, we will learn more about the API, what are the usage restrictions, free tiers, billing, and we'll also make a sample API call. In the last sections, we learned how we can sign up, use the AI enabler tool, structure our datasets, and deploy a language model. Now in this section, we are going to further cover supervised APIs, where we will learn to generate our API keys, learn about their pricing and free quotas, and get familiar with the developer documentation and the API references. Further, we'll wrap this video by making our first API call on supervised AI. So let's get started. We are back on our supervised dashboard, and in order to use the API facility, we need to generate our API keys. There are two major ways how we can generate our API key. The first one being the testing key, which has an upper cap of 10 API calls per day and is free to use. The second one is the production key, which do not have any upper cap and has a pay-as-you-go pricing model. If you want to generate a production key, you can just click here, and where our developers will generate a production key for you and provide you with the necessary details. For this project, we will be using a testing API key. So let's generate one. There are two ways how you can generate your testing API key. Either use the default keys or generate your unique one using Postman. We will be using default keys for this video. As you can see, our API key is verified. Now we need to copy this, and it is also present in the dashboard, so we can use it from there also. To test the API, we will be using our API references on Postman, which is here, and everything is mentioned over here. How you can make your API call, how you can structure the call, and how you will be getting the responses, output, etc. Just click on the API references, and you will be redirected to our Postman account. Here, there are four sections: getting started, API references, authorization method, and developer docs. You have to go to the API references. As you can see, all the endpoints are mentioned over there, and you can just replace the API key to make an API call. We'll go with the new query. Here, in the header section, we will change the authorization to beheader, followed by your API key. Let's inspect the body. The body of this API call is structured in this way, where first we have defined the prompt, then the bot ID, and finally the model. Currently, we are using an open model, which is the GPT 3.5 Turbo. You can replace this with your model key, which is provided in supervised dashboard. Currently, our model is being trained, so let's make this call with GPT 3.5 Turbo. We'll click on send and see if the API works or not. As you can see, the success is true, and the data, which is the output, has returned as computing technology and etc. There are further sections in this API reference, like the JSON query, chatbot query, moderation, and currently there are over 10 plus free models like GPT 3.5 Turbo and Anthropic and etc., which you will get a list of in the SDK. And in next 1 or 2 weeks, we'll be adding support of 80 plus open source models, including Gemini and Llama 2 and all the other models. Claudia, Anthropic, whatever is available, we'll be adding the support to it. So if you do not want to make your own model, you can use them to make the API call also. Now let's get back to our dashboard. If you are using a production key, you have to go to the billing section to check your usage and pricing. As you can see, I have made over 16 API calls. I am in my tier 1 and have a limit of 10 queries per day. I have a balance of $349, which I haven't utilized yet. And my net API consumption for day is around 10.67%, which is okay. If it exceeds, the okay will be replaced with over limit. If you need to add balance to your wallet, you can simply write whatever amount you want to add and click on add balance. Through a simple payment method, you can add balance to your supervised wallet. If you want to directly add $10 or $100, there are the direct links for that. If you are holding any subscription and you want to pay the bill of that, you can do it from here. One thing I missed was the developers SDK. If you're building your application and don't know where to start, developers SDK has every information that you need in order to create your applications over supervised. It is well documented and everything is mentioned here. You want to do the authentication by your own self, the API base URL, a lot of more details about different endpoints. Everything is mentioned over here. You can even see a sample project that we have built using this API, which we will further discuss in the next section. So for the next project, what we are going to do is build a sample application, build a sample chatbot application, integrate it with a WordPress website, and see if it is running or not. So everyone, welcome to the final part of this video, where we are going to make an actual AI application over it. Actually, we will be making two AI applications over supervised, one using the API call method and second one using the no-code app builder. This will mark as the conclusion of our video, and I believe then you will be much comfortable with supervised AI than ever before. So let's get started. We are back on our supervised dashboard, and we will conclude our video in this section by building two applications, one using the no-code app builder and second one using the API. Now, the no-code application builder is basically built for iteration purpose, where you can create instant applications to test out your model and talk with your users, your team members, get reviews, suggestions, feedbacks, etc. from them. It is very simple, just a basic toned down version of the build studio that you have earlier used. I can just go and select custom model. It has already fetched my last model. I can just replace it with some other key also, and then I have to write the AI prompt on which it will work. And I can also enable advanced options. If I enable this, a lot more things of the application can be changes, but for this I will just select no, and let's create our application. So as you can see, our application has been built, and I'll quickly test it out. As you can see, we have trained it on restaurants data, and it is able to provide sufficient output. That's how we can do that. But don't worry if you have a premium subscription or a support subscription, because if that is the case, someone from our team will do all this for you. You just have to test the application. Now, once the test application has been built, it's time to go and build a production level application using our API. For that purpose, we will use the supervised SDK, which is present at sdk.supervised.co. We have to scroll down to the API references where we have added this sample call within a project. And as you can see, the code has been there. If you want to see the application in live status, you can just click here. It will open the chatbot and you can just start interacting with it. So if you want to understand the code line by line, we have this explanation over here, as I told earlier, which will tell you that how the HTML is structured. First of all, the meta tags have been used, the styling has been done, what is about the body section of the project, but these are not important. The most important thing is the event listener and the chatbot functions. As you can see, we have used a handle user input and an add message function to build our actual application. And for event listener, we have the key up and click, which we are using hand in hand with the handle user input. Now, if you have any problem while building applications, you can just start from this source code, make and modify the changes. Make sure that you replace this test API key with your actual one. Otherwise, you'll have a 10 query per day limit, which I don't believe is good for a production level application. And rest of the things you can replace this model key with the actual model of your application, and rest everything you can customize accordingly. If you have any query or you want something to be custom developed for you, you can mail to us at hello@supervised.co. Thanks for enjoying this video. I'm Udit Akhouri. I am the maker of Supervised AI, and again, thanks for joining the platform and watching this video till this end. I'm really excited to onboard you to our platform, and I hope that our relationship will last for not just 5 or 10 years, but for 20, 30, and 50 years. Welcome on board.